Hey kids, Mark Miller here. I'm out in the nebula. Roy's with me on Skype. Roy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It sounded like you said you're doing frying.
Frying.
You frying up?
Apparently. Yeah.
Apparently. I'm doing pretty
I'm
good.
More than you, because I'm not floating around in space.
Yeah. So yesterday I tried to get. I'm not very good at sockets, as you know. I tried to get the thing going the other way, and it was not successful. And I don't know why. And this is one of the things that's frustrating to me about this sometimes. Sometimes the code is right, but the firewall is wrong, or it's preventing something, but you just can't tell. So that's a little tricky. So I backed out of that. I went forward and I backed out. I left the code in, but I kind of commented out pieces that were in there. Let's get to a normal view here of the situation. I also moved into the D&D app, the TaleSpire Explorer. This is the plugin. And I moved in the core. I think the core I put in here already. One of the things that was really interesting, though, is when I moved this in, the core was give me all these errors that the reference wasn't there. And I think the reason why is because it was referencing the same assembly in a different folder, maybe. That's what I think was going on. I don't know. Anyway, I had to remove every one of these references. This used to build, and I just did this morning before we started up. I had to remove these three and these two and reinstall Newtonsoft on TaleSpire core.
Right.
The new one I added compiled fine. Everything was fine with that. But at any rate, I moved this stuff over. I checked it in. So now we have all of that sources up there in source control. Just turning down my volume a little bit. There we go, right about there, maybe. Excuse me. All right, what are we going to do today? So today, I almost want to, let's open up, let's kind of get organized here a second. Let's open up our PowerPoint, get to the TaleSpire hack. What do we have for goals? Communication across both machines. Well, we kind of got that. Detailed command. Yeah. Well,
we had command name and parameter. Sort of simple command, if you like.
Yeah. Yeah, we can take it to the next level, but right now we're kind of. I think we're going to grow this. So we got a checkbox on use sockets. We definitely have detailed feedback, detailed data coming back. We're nailing this. We fixed that. That was, I think, one of the last things I think you saw yesterday, which is when it was inside of some of our DTOs here. Which one was it? It was our API response. The API response, is it really right here on screen already? Hold on, let's get this to 100% so you can see it. That's it. We added this piece.
Okay, that I didn't see, but that looks reasonably simple enough. I see the deserializing of the JSON data that's been sent to you, so that's presentable then.
Right. So you left when we were having this problem, I think, where we were like, the data seems extra serialized. Why is it? And it was because it looked like a string, but it wasn't. It was a J object. And the J object kind of appeared like it was a string in JSON, because that's how it's designed to display itself at debug time.
Yeah.
So it actually took some assistance from Coding Gorilla to kind of spot that it was a J object, and then we wrote this. And so this sweet method here is basically called here when we basically send a message to the server to get the creatures, and then we get their character positions back.
Nice.
And this now works. We were able to now confirm that. Now, so we're going to grow this, basically. We're going to kind of grow this API. Should I get rid of all of this? Yeah, we are going to grow this API as needed. So right now I'm not going to touch it because we've already got the ability to get everybody's character position, which is something I want. We're also controlling the clock. So this one, we got a big fat checkbox here on what we've done. We can now control, well, I said control the clock, control the sun position.
This is the realm of gods, don't you know?
Based on time. Yeah, you're right. We can now get the positions of all the players. Okay, so
nice. Now
what we need to do though is we need to come back into, we need to kind of get grounded here. We need to, in our D&D app, we need to connect our players and NPCs with the TaleSpire figures.
Okay.
Now, I was talking to somebody yesterday, last night in Discord in the TaleSpire Discord channel, and they had just figured out how to replace the TaleSpire figures with your own custom figures.
Nice.
And they're going to write something up on that. So one of the things that happens here, so basically the deal is this. Look, if I want to add my own custom figure to TaleSpire, I cannot add it. What I have to do is find an existing figure that I don't want to use and replace it.
Okay.
Okay. Now I know this for sure about unique characters. I'm not sure about non-unique characters, but for unique characters in TaleSpire, they appear to have. Whoops, hold on. To have a consistent board ID. Well, you know what? As I write this, I'm asking myself the question: is that really true? It's a GUID. Okay. I hope it's true. They also have a name.
It's interesting. The GUID itself could represent the singular instance, but it could equally represent the type. But in the case of a unique character, would not those two things both be as good?
Yeah.
Because even if it is the type Merkin, there's only one Merkin, therefore we're good.
Yeah. That's what I believe. But we need to actually double check that.
Sure.
What else? I also in the Explorer plugin, I just remembered I took out. We did not do a show last night. We were going to do it, and I was like, I commented out this line of code here, which automatically loads the I just wanted to make sure we were as unobtrusive as possible until we've had more time to test it. It's this piece that creates that. So I want to create that now. Let's start up. Let's actually answer this question about the board ID. Because if I'm gonna start linking things across.
Yeah.
Oops, I hit run. I don't want to do run on there.
So are we saying, when you say consistent, you mean consistent across multiple loads? So you load TaleSpire, you get all the creatures, you find the one that's you're going to switch with Merkin, for example, and it's got a GUID of ABC. You then shut everything down again, restart it all up again, do the same thing, and just confirm the same GUID exists on that character.
That's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that first because if we're going to go through the work of let's go in here one more time. Let's do rebuild on this guy. Rebuild on that guy is what I want to do, and I want to check my TaleSpire folder on the other machine, the second machine. Go into FNX plugins. Looking for that start time. Okay, so those have both been updated right there. So now I'm going to go to the second machine. And I have, so you're seeing it now. Hold on one second. I need to switch to there, I think, and to there. If I'm right, we should be seeing something now, but we're not yet. Let's start up TaleSpire on the second machine. It looks like maybe I need to check out my NDI situation over here. It says it's bringing it in. Let's go back over and look over here. What's wrong? Oh, there we go. It's bringing it in. Okay, just took a second to start it up. Okay, so got TaleSpire up and running. Let's open up and we'll open up a page. Let's go find, what we want to do is, I think I want to drop Fred on here is what I'll do. So we'll come over here, hit unique creatures, find Fred, drop Fred on. By the way, can I do this now? I'm the game master. I can't do it. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at this. See this UI right up here? If I hit enter while my character is selected, hello, and then I hit enter, watch what happens on, look at that.
Oh, very nice.
Which means all the talking...
Which means we can redirect everything.
All the talking that we're
Not just
doing...
on screen, but in screen.
Yeah, I'm going to sync it up. I'm totally going to sync it up. When I saw that, I was like, what? The way they're doing it is a little weird, but it's like, with the curly kind of line going up, it's not my favorite. It feels wrong, but it's not bad. Okay, so now let's come over here. We're going to choose load classes, go find Fred. And in fairness, basically I'm debating. Here's the problem. I'll show you what's going on. Wait 1 second. Why isn't the display capture coming in? Because I want you to see. Oh yeah, that's not good. OBS is showing that the displays, it has 2 displays and they're both 0 by 0 pixels. So what does that mean? I restart OBS? I think it means I restart OBS. That's pretty bad over there. All right, I'm going to restart OBS on the other machine. So we're going to lose this in a second. And I'm going to start it back up. There we go. That looks better. There you go. Look at that. Just kicked right in. Sweet. That's what I wanted to show you. This guy right here. All right. So I'm basically debating whether because I need to connect data from TaleSpire over into our world, right? Our D&D engine.
Yes.
So I'm debating whether I connect using the word, using the name data. So anybody named Fred, I'll just find Fred, right? Which makes it real easy for the dungeon master to create new characters, or whether I use this board ID number. So right here, we can see it ends in Abe 59.
Yeah.
So I'm going to now close this down.
I guess if that doesn't match, it makes the decision process a lot simpler.
Right. But if it does match, then I'm like, to test it, I want to go to and open up a different board when I come back in. And
but put the same piece in there.
Yeah. I think this, by the way, is caused by our event handler still listening into events as it's shutting down, and then our form is gone. Yeah. And so it's trying to trigger the event. There's an exception. We get to that page. I think that's what's going on. All right, let's start it up again. So remember, we're looking for that Abe 59 at the end of the GUID, which I think is going to be there. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's easier to just use the name, right? And make sure every character's got a unique name.
It is.
Because then if we want to add something at the last minute, we don't have to go figure out what that is. I haven't really figured out the answer to that question. So I'm like, but I'm not comfortable with it because it's not a GUID, right? It's kind of asking for trouble.
It's not guaranteed to be unique, is it?
No.
Which is a nice attribute of this sort of thing.
Yes, 100%. I agree. Let's go to the boards. Boards. Go to the battle castle. I don't think Fred's on here yet. It's a little slow. I
Oh, that's
attributed
quicker.
that also to my plugin that's listening to every single event that's out there. And all right, so let's go into unique characters. Fred. How come you're not coming out, Fred? There it is. There's Fred. All right, Fred's out there now. Whoops. Load classes. Fred. There we go.
And it is the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm kind of thinking, I guess my plan was starting the show is we add a new field for our characters that is the corresponding ID. And maybe we do a secondary piece where if we can't find the ID, but we can match the name,
Yeah.
and there's some relative sense that it's unique, then we say, okay, well, then these two match up. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to drop in all of our major characters, and we're going to grab their names and bring them over and stick them in our.
Essentially, we're going to put a GUID in a Google sheet, right?
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
several of them.
Little cutie. We'll only do the 5 main players here. Merkin. Sandra. Yeah, definitely performance issues here. And I think, like I say, I think it's this guy. Hold on. I think it's this guy. Sandra, there's a Sandra coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who did I miss? Nope, that's 5. That's everybody. Okay. Let's load classes one more time. All right. So Fred, Lady, Little Cutie, Merkin, and Sandra. Those are the 5 I need. So I'm going to copy those to the clipboard. Over here, throw that in a notepad for a little bit. And then I want to get one bad guy. I want to get one bad guy, I think, or somebody that I can target. So one more guy up here. Load classes, one more time. Okay, copy those. Paste them onto machine number 2. Done. Have I done that correctly? There it is right there. All right. So I've got them right here. All right, next let's go bring up the data, the players. We're going to call this TaleSpire ID. I'm going to just grab these one at a time from each one of these. Lady, who's next down there? Little Cutie is next. Little Cutie is here. I just pasted Fred in Fred's place. Good. Okay. Lady is this one. And Merkin is that one. And Sandra is that one. Now this last one, Janice, I don't have as a player. He's going to go in a different space. So
okay.
That's what we're doing. All right, so TaleSpire ID is there. Let's go into the code. Let's go look for, I don't know, maybe a scene name. It was one of the other columns there. Character DTO. This code is all based on kind of older versions of our, before we really, fine-tuned the Google Sheets interface. So we're still kind of loading from a DTO. We're kind of using older code to load this stuff up. Anyway, I'm not really too worried about that. There's the TaleSpire ID we're adding there. It's just like a couple more lines of code rather than the simpler stuff. We have to add this as well. Like that. And then into character, well, maybe not character. We need to put TaleSpire ID, but actually I don't want to do it in character. I want to do it in creature. I want both of these to have a TaleSpire ID. Okay.
Yep.
I think we can do a JSON ignore on that, because we're really only using JSON on creature to talk to our TypeScript down below.
Yeah. And
they're not going to care or need any of this. Okay. So that's what's going on there. I think it's fair. Okay, so now that brings in the TaleSpire ID. Now the next thing we want to do is, I think we were back in, we're responding to the button click inside of our main window. Yeah, we're here. Now what I want to do is I want to match up the character IDs to these guys and then update their positions in terms of where they are. That's kind of what I think I want to do.
So which direction is that? Are you going to pull it out of TaleSpire and record it?
Yeah.
Where?
This call pulls it out of TaleSpire right here.
Mm-hmm.
Just noticing it's slightly cropped here. Let me go switch to a view that's a little better, like that.
There we go.
So I'm gonna make this call here. When the response comes back, then I'm gonna do something interesting. Okay. Kind of like figure out all the positions, and maybe I think what I want to do is this: I think I want to enter combat. I want to enter combat, and then I want to advance to the next turn. And when it's that person's turn, when I hit this button, I want to show everybody else's distance from that character.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I want to do. So, in other words, and from there we can do things like target everyone within 30 feet. Does that make sense? Because maybe it's an area of effect.
So when this is live and you're using it in reality, all the participants are going to have their own copies of TaleSpire connected to this via network.
Yep.
And they're going to have a degree of interactivity. So they're going to be able to physically move their character.
Right.
So player number one says, I'm going to go and investigate this light over here in the corner.
Right.
And they literally drag their piece over there.
Yes.
If in the next few moments combat occurs and somebody says, I'm going to cast Fireball, they're going to know the distance that fireball, the system will know the distance the fireball will have an effect on. And we're going to know how far away the characters are based on where they physically are in this room.
Yeah.
So potentially they get involved in the damage, potentially they don't.
Right. Yeah.
Excellent.
The only thing that I think we're missing here is a way for players to mark a location. Like if I'm casting Fireball, I want to show where I want to mark it, right? And there's like, if I switch over here in TaleSpire to player view, I think I'm gonna have to ask the devs for this because I'm pretty sure this doesn't exist. So I'm in player view now, and if I hit looking to hit the letter L for light. Oh, I can do it as a player maybe. So now what I need, see this light kind of shining down here? Yeah. So now what I need is the ability to say, okay, I want to go right here, and then like a click or something and get an event on that. Or the ability for me to hit a button and say, this is where I want to target it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So in many games that's kind of like a flare. You send up a flare to mark something that you're talking to somebody about over the audio. But in your case, you want to retain the information programmatically to then use for further purposing. In this case, targeting or whatever. Yeah. Very, very useful at that point.
That's what I want to do. Pudding says, no.
You might almost use it for a place to target some pudding.
Yeah, we didn't get Pudding's
but we didn't get any.
Oh, you know why? Somebody
Pudding,
forgot.
Did you not target properly?
Looks like... Well, no, wait. That looks like it's running correctly. I don't know why we didn't get that for you. All right, buddy. We'll restart stuff just for you. Let's restart that. Restart this. That's all right. Let's shut down that. It's going to be just a second. The lights go down on either side when I shut it down. Let's go back in one more time. Overlay Manager is running. Mr. Announcer Bot is running. And the Dungeon Master app is starting. Dungeon Master app always takes longer. Meanwhile, yeah, so that's what I want to do. Basically, I want to be able for the player. It looks like the players can move the light around. I thought only the DM could do it. Looks buggy to me though a little bit. Like when I move it here, look at how it kind of seems to point to another place. A little bit weird. Look at that.
On the other hand, another fix has worked.
Ah, I'm covered in pudding. I'm covered in pudding, I say. Do you hear me?
I do.
It's pudding that's covering me. All right, I'm just restarting these guys as well. 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. Okay. All right, so that's what I want to do.
It's a good plan.
I've switched over, by the way. I really, really, really want to find something with light. Okay, not bad. I've got 220 hits for light. Let's see if we can just get it with an uppercase. Oh, that didn't help much. I need pip light. Pip? Player something light, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, of course, because it's Unity, it's got 100 of hits for light. Let's see if we've got anything like get, starting with get star.light. Let's turn that off, but turn this on. Get material, not what I want. Get camera light, no, I don't think so. Get point light mesh.
Spotlight mesh.
Oh, look at this, placeable light manager. But that may not. That looks like it's maybe for putting things like these lights here, right? The torches around the edge.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's quite the same. Yeah, I'm looking really for a player light is what I'm really looking for. Player light, nothing. Lamp light.
So we're using light because we logically are going to say, well, okay, it's an in-game concept that we can use maybe for targeting. But is there any possibility they've actually got a target facility that's just not been revealed?
Let's look at it. Target. It doesn't look good. I got 99.
No. Okay.
They may. What if I did play star dot target? Placement target names, placeable GPU identifiers. I don't feel like that's right. What I'm looking for, destroy player objects, target player ID. That's a little concerning to me. They're needing an int in there for the ID. I'm like, don't do that. Interesting. This is actually the one we called to make the magic missiles shoot out.
Magic missile, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's do one more thing. TaleSpire light. Not what I'm looking for. TaleSpire light L as well, maybe. Maybe the word toggle. I just want to make sure that this is, maybe there's a different, I just was thinking maybe there's a different feature name for it. Toggle flashlight. Ooh. Do I have the word flashlight in here? It's a class. It's one of 5. There's one there. UI controls, local client. So on the local client, so it's not bound to a player, but I'm wondering if on my client, I can see where the flashlight is. And
Maybe.
you know what I mean? And if I can see that flashlight, maybe we can maybe the instance of it's got something we can work with that, like its position, something like that.
Interesting. I'm trying to imagine what a quote flashlight would be useful for, because firstly we're not inherently in a world where characters can actually have a flashlight. I mean, a lot of this is medieval style, and therefore, the closest they've got is a torch. So I wonder if it's more the idea of the dungeon master decides to illuminate an area.
No,
just on the fly.
I don't think so. I think it's primarily used for pointing at things, for saying, here, I want to go here, so we can all see what I'm talking about. I need to point to something. So basically, I'm looking at this, and I was hoping that we were going to see something and say where it is. You can use light on a shield for a flashlight, though. I think you're talking about not in TaleSpire, but in, or maybe you are? You mean it'll reflect off a shield? I don't know if that's true or not. Will it? At any rate, all right, let's go look at light. Does light tell us where it is? Somewhere we got to be able to find the position of this. Got a spot angle. No, like the spell light. Oh. Right. Yes, of course. I think you can type in bang light here. Nope. Is that not working? Daylight? Nope, not working. I thought we could do that.
Not sure what you're doing. Can't see.
Typing in, I'm just typing in the stream chat, names of spells. I'm pretty sure we wrote code to have those shoot. Yeah, everything's breaking today. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it could be because is it case sensitive? Mage hand. Let's try a couple things. Sounds like my daily life. No. Mage space hand. No. We created something that would put out or is it maybe because we're in the wrong place that we need to be in the other chat room? I think that's it. We have to be in the other chat room. Let's try that. Let's go out here, go to the chat there. Wait, come back. It just scrolled it off screen for me. There's my chat button right there. Okay, and let's try it here. Light. There it is. So see that right up there? It's only working in the other piece. It's not in this chat room. Okay. So what's cool about it is it finds the description of it and gives you the first couple sentences, and then gives you a link for more information. Right. So
that's
it's
good.
Kind of cool. Yeah. So you can specify any spell in here, that sort of thing, and it'll do it. Okay. So it looks like there's a shot at being able to find out what people are pointing at, right? That I could go find this. It looks like there's a path to getting it. So that's good. Let's maybe make a note of that. Back in our goals, I think we need another different slide here. Accomplishments. Use that big word. Put this over here so we can kind of measure our progress here. Back over to goals. Get the flashlight working. I want to get the flashlight position. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to have custom spell effects. I want to replace the TaleSpire characters with my own 3D images or whatever, 3D meshes. My own 3D characters. Okay. All right, so flashlight position, we're just going to put a couple things in here so I don't start from scratch again. Got local client dot flashlight. That is maybe the key. That's what I think. I think that's the key. Type flashlight. Okay. Good. Okay, and let's get some music going too. I just realized it was quiet there for a second when I wasn't talking there. Okay, back to the plan. I think well, we can write a little bit of code here. We can basically do a for each like this. Oh, sorry. We can do a for each like this. For each character position in there, we say character position dot ID. Then we're going to come in here, so we're going to say, I guess, all players dot get from TaleSpire ID, like that. We're going to pass in that, and we're going to expect to get back a character like this, player. Then we're going to say, hey, if player is not null, then we want to say player dot set map position like this, and then we're going to pass in the character position dot position, which is that vector DTO. I think we're good with that. All right, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and declare that. We're going to have to add a using statement, I think, down in this space here, TaleSpire core, right there to get that. Can we do it with Visual Studio and or CodeRush? Can either of you be smart enough to just do that for me now? Nope. Okay, fine. Character, we're in D&D core. How do I add a reference to this new project type? Project reference. Okay. We need TaleSpire core right there. All right. Now can you help me? There we go. Okay. So we're going to set map position. So now we're going to come in here. We need to have its position. I think I have a type called vector. And I think it's 3D. Nice. Map position. Okay, like that. So now, just pausing Dropbox. Now what I want to do is come down here and say, hey, map position is equal to new vector, and we're going to take in position dot x. This one's going to be y, and oops, and that one's going to be z. Okay.
Nice.
All right, so we call set map position. I think we need to add the get from TaleSpire ID right here. Declare method right there. Excuse me, guys. Okay, first or default. Sorry. X equals. TaleSpire ID is equal to ID. Okay.
That's the one. Yep.
I think we're good with that. That feels like that feels pretty good. Right there.
It does.
It feels like we're likely to get, if we set a breakpoint there, we're likely to hit that. And I say, let's run.
Okay.
I'm going to shut down the other one that's already running, and we'll start this one up.
I was thinking there for a moment that there might be an outside case where the character's not available, but it's not true because we inherently get all characters that are in TaleSpire. Actually, that's interesting. We're going to get character positions that don't exist in our list.
Positions for characters that we don't know about, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Okay, let's see what's going on here. We got a build failed, but I don't see any errors. It's not my favorite. I had a weird problem earlier this morning where I was getting errors, and I think I restarted. Did that fix it? No, it didn't.
Is it that there's no errors in code, but you can't overwrite the DLLs because they're running?
Yeah, that's probably it.
That said, maybe not.
Why can't D&D quality? Why isn't D&D quality building? There's got to be another error here.
You're also currently looking at IntelliSense only errors and not build errors, which may reveal more.
It's trying to copy over, and it's failing. All right, let's close down. Let's just see if the problem is only with TaleSpire running on the second machine.
Worth mentioning that whilst it was a decent list of 16 errors, that's not necessarily the order they're happening in.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's just that first one was like, can't copy the DLL, and I'm thinking that might be related to the problem. Let's try one more time over here. Waiting for the other TaleSpire to shut down. Can't switch it over to you because I've closed down the main app here that also facilitates switching. That's coming from the Dungeons and Dragons app because it's super easy. All right, let's do it right now. Rebuild solution. Getting some errors in here. This one's weird. It's a really weird error. It says typer namespace D&D core could not be found. It really feels like it's a project reference issue. Probably not that one though. Let's try one more time. Go to D&D quality. Oops. I think what's going to happen is because we added TaleSpire core, we have to do the same to D&D quality. I think that's what it's really trying to tell me.
Okay.
But it hasn't done that yet. Let's just try it. Let's try build here. Do we do build there? Can we isolate only to errors inside there?
Error count just went down, albeit only by
Yeah,
one.
it didn't really look that exciting. Let's just try what my gut is saying, which is add TaleSpire core to D&D quality. No, it is not the problem.
What happens if we look at the output window and find, I don't know, first occurrence of the word error?
That's a great idea.
Wow, it's quite a short list anyway.
Simply just gets to that. Can't find D&D core. Well, let's try this. Let's try removing this. This is one of the things I had to do earlier. I had to remove a reference and add it right back in. That was because I think it was pointing to two different pieces, even though they said they were the same. Let's try that. Right, we haven't made any changes to D&D quality. Okay, now I'm kind of just stunned. Does that mean D&D Core isn't compiling? Let's go look at that. Maybe D&D Core isn't compiling. Let's go into D&D Core, build it.
Okay.
Let's go back to D&D Quality, build it.
Did not seem happy.
Let's go in one more time. Look at this. This is, I feel like I'm in a crazy loop. Remove, references, add reference, D&D Core. You've got to be able to find yourself there, D&D Quality. The thing that's interesting is D&D Quality is just like a bunch of test-related kinds of things. I'm pretty sure it's nothing in there that I actually need.
Is there any chance that the references are all fine, but some accidental set of keystrokes has deleted a using statement from within it?
Let's see. D&D UI, D&D UI, D&D UI. Item view model is kind of an interesting thing. It says it can't be found. Well, this is the other thing that was happening. I would get errors, I'd double click on them, and it would open the code, and then the error would go away. That was happening earlier this morning as well.
Because this is build only, so there's a subtlety between what's displayed in the editor versus what is available to be an error.
So, yeah, it says it can't find it, but it, seemingly seems to find it.
Studio restart.
If that's happened, if this fixes it.
It wouldn't be the first time now, would it?
Don't be like all like, son, I'm going to teach you all about Visual Studio today.
I'm just hoping it works. It's,
Yeah,
these are the
it's
worst
like,
kind of errors.
These kinds of things are like not my least favorite, right? When errors are unclear, least favorite. All right, so we want to go, I guess we're going to just do this one step at a time. We're going to come in here. Can't build yet. Can't tell what's going on. Okay, now I can build. Okay, so maybe I should have rebuilt that. Let's go back. Let's go. Or you just want me to probably do you probably want me to come in here like this and just say, let's just do the whole thing, Mark.
I don't mind.
All right, so there's a clean. Oh, I guess I'm still cleaning. Still cleaning. All right, and then a rebuild of the solution. I think I've seen stuff like this when there were project dependency issues.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen anything like that. In my case, it was an absolute disastrous build that we had. We'd done a lot of stuff wrong, and there's really not a lot of time in which for things to have, been broken here. So I don't think it's the same exactly, but. No, that's not it. We did see an issue once where multiple projects had a reference to the same third-party DLL, but a different version of it. And it was preventing, because they were both used in the same project ultimately. So you've got A, which uses B and C both use a different version of Z.
Yeah,
now,
that's kind of what it feels like.
We're using Newtonsoft.
Yeah, the problem is I want to find out where's the lowest level issue, and I guess really the way to do that is to go into the output. Last time we did that, though, the output was like, it's a little more clear here, maybe. And this might be more helpful because I did a build all. Well, no, still failing.
Same thing, though.
Still failing. Quality engine. Type or namespace name D&D Core could not be found. It's as if it doesn't know it needs to build D&D Core first, is what it feels like. It's really strangely bizarre. But even if I came in and manually builded this one and then manually build the next one, right? This one flipping works. And I haven't changed anything like where, to put its, I'm sure it's still putting out, the build is still putting out to bin whatever. When I say that, I don't see it here. Is it not here? Is it application where that setting is? Build. Output path. So there's no output path here. for D&D core. That feels like it could be an issue.
Yeah.
Let me go into source tree a second. D&D core. I did include TaleSpire in it.
Yeah.
That's my one change. Let's try this.
All right. Can we remove that and it'll work?
Yeah, I think we can. Discard. I think it's going to work. Wait, where did Visual Studio go? Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Wait, how am I not getting my reload everything? That was to D&D core. I'm a little bit concerned that I didn't get the reload message there. Let's just verify that TaleSpire is in here. Okay, it's not there. Reload project. Now, we're not going to be able to... I think something's not going to compile. I want D&D core projects right here. Yeah. So now we're not able to do this, and this was needed for the vector DTO.
Okay, yep.
So I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to, this is my, because this is so weird, I'm pretty sure this is my, and I'm pretty sure this is the problem. So we're going to not use TaleSpire down here below. I think it could actually be, I think what we really might be looking at is different .NET framework issues.
Oh, yeah.
That are not being, very clearly explained.
So one's a .NET Core and the other's a .NET Framework, and
something like that.
And the two can't reference each other in a particular direction.
That's what I think. Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense, actually, in this case.
Would it? But it would have been based on the errors?
Well,
I guess what I'm saying is the errors...
It'd be a lot nicer if they'd tell us straight that was the problem, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay, still some problems, it looks like. Let's look at the output. What? The output says we're good? Okay, we're good. Quality. Good. That's what it was.
Ooh. Well, that's just annoying.
Isn't it? I think that the error messages need some assistance. One failed. What do we
No argument.
Oh,
Main
right.
window DHDM.
We got this.
That's a reasonable error.
I agree. It's totally reasonable.
So this is it. We effectively elect to operate in a world where there's a strong degree of determinism. And it's because of that fact that we elect to work in this world. And suddenly, when things have no explanation that we can see, it sort of messes with our expectations.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. I totally elect to live in that world that's deterministic. In fact, I have the theory of one, which is basically that the world is entirely deterministic. There's only one outcome possible. That shortly after the Big Bang, that even this sentence could have been predicted, given sufficient computing power and data storage.
Yeah.
And my son loves it, and my wife hates that theory.
Oh yeah,
She's
that
like,
I can buy into.
she's like, we have no free will. I'm like, you're right. You have no free will. I knew you were going to say that. I didn't know, but presumably predictable. And then my son points out this website that's, let's see if I can bring it up. Did I start that up, by the way? Did I hit run? Yeah, I did. It's running. Let's go back over into the other machine, start up TaleSpire. Let's come up here. Meanwhile, truly random numbers, quantum, something like this. That looks like a site I've been to. Where is it? Where are the numbers? C. Not quite what I want. I thought for sure live numbers. There it is. Random binary. Fine. This. He sends me a link to this page. And he's like, I think they just blew your theory of one. And I go, yeah. Because now that we can make decisions based on truly random things, things are no longer predictable.
It's only random in the sense that we don't have the algorithm. And possibly neither do they.
Well, this is coming from quantum mechanics, is my understanding. So
sure. But why shouldn't that be following a pattern of some kind?
Well, I don't know. Our smartest folks say that doesn't happen, but I don't know. You might be right. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. We're screwed. We can't figure anything out at this point.
You have to accept that we live in a completely deterministic world, but act as if we don't.
That's right.
Because otherwise, everybody's completely miserable.
I know.
And nobody takes any responsibility for any of their actions.
We're just going to... Yes, exactly. Okay. So now, let's see. I'm loading up TaleSpire. TaleSpire is... Now, why didn't we get a switch is my question. Oh, there it is. It just took a moment to get over there. All right, let's load up that board where we had all our players. Mm-hmm. It's the Battle Castle. Looks like I need to do some refresh here.
Incoming raid, ML Astra with a party of 6. Come on in, people!
ML
Welcome!
Astra, thanks a lot for the raid. Welcome, everybody.
We love a good raid. You join us as we attempt to, I guess, build more of our little API usage against TaleSpire, a Steam-based program which will allow you to create and construct Dungeons and Dragons scenarios for you and your friends, which Mark is using, or planning to use certainly in another of his streams. We've developed a lot of stuff around this concept, and now we're going to try and integrate with TaleSpire. So the idea is that the users can individually move their counters to places of interest, as in the normal course of a Dungeons & Dragons game. We're about to get all of their positions, and I believe we're ultimately planning to calculate how far everybody is from the person who's about to have their turn. As a sort of experimental exercise.
Yeah, we're about to do that. Question from ML Astra. How is you and your amazing beard? Well, thank you for my beard is feeling really good about itself. I think we're both okay, actually. All right, I just realized I clicked the wrong piece. I want to start up the other D&D app. Meanwhile, over here, while you're looking at TaleSpire, I'll show you kind of what's going on. So yeah, I've got these 5 characters here. I think I can hold down the tab key to show everybody's name. No. Roy, you still there? You just got really quiet. Okay. Let's switch to player mode and see if there's any difference.
It should be noted that TaleSpire itself is in early access, so there's certainly some optimization that will be happening at some stage.
Yeah. All right, so we've added a new piece over here with this get character positions. Let's. I think I got a breakpoint in. Yeah, I got a breakpoint here and a breakpoint up here. So let's click that button. So this is going to make a call over across.
We cannot see your code at the moment. We're looking at TaleSpire.
Let me do this. Let me get. Thank you so much for saying that, Rory. That's why you're here. Let me hit this button. Okay, that gets you to this screen.
That's the right machine.
That's not bad. I think you might be more interested in seeing both machines at the same time. So let's do that. So we hit the button. We're in the code over here. So this right here is going to make a call over to the second machine and get the creatures. That's what it's going to do. And then we're going to get the character positions from that. And here we can see that we've got 17 characters in that space. And we can do something like type in Fred, and we should be able to see Fred right there. There it is. By the way, this is CodeRush, the new CodeRush feature kids are working on right now. So that's coming out some point in the future. Now we're going to go through all these, go to the player, see if we can find it. I'm hoping for a breakpoint there. So I'll set a breakpoint at the end and just hit run. Hopefully we're going to hit. There we go. We got one. Nice.
That's good.
So
because there's several characters, obviously, that we don't have information for. So several enemies that are on the board, but we don't represent in our code. So we've just skipped over those to reach one where we do have a reference.
Yeah. So there's Fred. So we found Fred. We're setting Fred's position now. And there it is right there. You can see the coordinates. And what's cool is this Y should be the same for all of them. Should be about 22. That's what we're looking for. And I just hit run, and I'm in the next one. It's a 21.99, 21.99. Who's this player? There's a little cutie. So we can see they're all on the same plane, all on the same floor. That's looking good. So now we've set all of their positions. Now the question is, what are we going to do with that data, right? What is the best thing to do with that data? Like one of the options is, going into battle, right? Let's go into battle here for a second. And, okay. So right now there's no other creatures. I don't have Janice out there. We kind of want to get Janice into play in a second. So we'll just kind of presume it's like the players themselves. Sandra's not in. I've got her marked as being out of the battle, so we only have 4 players in there. But now I want to hit that button again. Wait, I want to hit next turn. So it's Cutie's turn. Now what I want to do is figure out the distances from little Cutie. What each person is.
Yeah.
And it just occurred to me, what would be kind of fun to do. We don't have the API built for this yet, but I don't think it'll be hard to build it. What would be fun to do is when it's somebody's turn, we could hit a button and then every player on the board could speak in a little speech bubble their distance from that player.
Oh, yeah.
That could be a little bit fun to see. But we'll do this right now. We're going to go in and once we set them, we're going to then see who's the active player and then figure out everybody else's distance. For each of those players, I think we're going to float text up here above that player to show how far they are away from that other player. That's kind of what I think we're going to do. Okay, so we're in battle. It's Cutie's turn. We're going to hit the button. We're going to get down to here, and we're going to say, I guess it's active player. So set a breakpoint there. And now active player is little Cutie. Then I want to go through all the players. Do I have all the players in the game? I have all creatures in the game. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Wait, all creatures is, let's double check this. What is this? It's a list of creatures. All creatures is on the clipboard. For each does not work for that. Interesting. Is this a bug?
Maybe.
Let me try one other way around this for a second. So anybody who's not familiar with why I would be asking the question, is this a bug? We are dog fooding Code Rush. Something's wrong here. No, because game is a local property. We're okay. Yeah, it's still for each isn't working. All right, let's document this. There may be something in there. So we're dog fooding Code Rush. All right, kids, I've got all creatures on the clipboard. I type in FE to get a 4H, and it is not building that automatically for me like it should. I'm not sure why that's the case. That's the bug. Each creature, that's basically what I'm expecting it to write for me, right there. All right, let's mark that as an issue. FE template failed to generate, just failed. Keep it simple like that. When we discover an issue like this, I put some special modes out in there. MLS was asking, what's Code Rush? Code Rush is a tool inside of Visual Studio. My team also makes tools for VS Code as well. and we're coming out with a tool that's kind of similar to what we've got in CodeRush. CodeRush is a tool for writing code very quickly. So for example, I want to try finally block, or I want to try catch block, or something like that. I want to create a for loop, things like this. So I can create bits of code very, very quickly, including declarations that are otherwise would be complex or tedious to write. For example, if I want to create a new stack of ints, for example, I can do something like that very, very quickly with just a few keystrokes, get the pieces that I need. I want to create a new method that returns a list of strings, for example, I can do something like that. Right, so it's very, very quick. It's pretty comprehensive in terms of what we have given you in terms of what you can build, and we have support for C#, VB, JavaScript, TypeScript. In terms of writing code quickly and pretty efficiently. Fred says he needs a Rory in his life as well. Yeah, no kidding. All right, so we're going through each creature. Let's try and get back on track here. We're going to say if creature dot maybe is not equal to hold on, what's going on? I feel like there's I've lost focus for a second. If creature is not equal to active player, I think these are both going to be the same for the active player. If that's the case, then we're going to come down here and do something. And just in case, to verify that's happening, I'm going to set a breakpoint here and make sure we do get down here. I've got a breakpoint at the end. I'm just going to run to make sure we hit this breakpoint. Yep. Cool. So good. So we found one of the creatures, a little cutie. Good. I'm going to come back up here again. Now we'll do it again one more time. Now we want to calculate the distance from that creature to this one. Well, first thing we're going to do is check to see, what is its distance. Yeah, something's wrong here, kids. Is it when that's up? And then when I take it away, aha. Okay, this is new tech that our devs are working on. I'm just going to report this issue real quick so they don't know that it's there. Devs, you probably know this is here, but watch this. I can move up and down arrow keys here and here. If I hover, though, if the mouse happens to be over something where one of these hints comes up, I can now no longer move, and it feels locked up. I have to move the mouse away, and now I can suddenly move. That's the issue. I know that's some new tech you guys are working on, but I want to make sure you saw that. Nav, keys, probably all keys locked up. Locked up. When, looks like it's debug tooltips are up. Maybe all keys. All right, there's my issue. Let's go report that. Meanwhile, we've got Surly Dev flying around. How are you doing, Surly Dev? Okay, so creature's not equal to active player. We need to check to see. We need to come in and say, hey, if creature dot map position why don't I have a map position here? Did I mistakenly put it in character instead? Oh, ooh. All right, I gotta close everything. Surly Dev is in the house.
Hey, Surly Dev.
How are you, Mark and Rory and Pudding? I think we're good. All right, I close that down. This, I'm sorry, needs to go into creature map position. Right there. I'm going to give it a JSON ignore as well. Right there. I don't think we need it to send that down below. It's so small, I'm like debating, should I take it or not? Let's try running again. It's this, because this guy's running.
Okay.
What do you want to bet?
It's the failure to copy things.
Oh no. Oh, it's this. It's because I was in edit and continue. All right. We still may have the other one. Let's just do that. For now, that should make us good. Now I think we're going to get the second error because TaleSpire is running and it's trying to copy over those files. No? Okay.
That feels like a 50-50 error, isn't it? Occasionally we
sometimes
can't,
we hit it.
but
Sometimes we don't.
sometimes we can.
Yeah. Yep. Any of you kids out there play D&D? Let me know if you do. All right, I got the TaleSpire button up, ready to hit it. Let's close down the scroll. Turn off the name tags. Oh well, maybe I should put up at least little cuties because we're in. There you go, right there. We're not really in battle anymore, though. Let's. Should we enter combat? I think we're going to enter combat. Like that. And I'm going to say next turn. That's going to be me. And I don't have my nameplate up, so it looks a little weird. Let's go ahead and put my nameplate up. All right. So my turn. Now I'm hitting the button. Going to get that breakpoint. Should have cleared the dice. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to hit run. Get down to here. Now we want to basically come down in here. You know what? Maybe can I do it? Let's do this. Let's get out of here. We'll clear those dice up so we can see the code. We'll hit the button one more time. All right, here we go. Get character positions. Run. Now we're down to the next part. And now what I want to do is I want to say, hey, if creature dot... I think what I'm going to do...
Map position.
Yeah, sorry. Map position. I think what I want to do... Ooh, I like that. I like that. Well, I just want to get that. Is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere I've got a float player text.
There you go.
What is it? What am I not understanding about this? It's that function.
Right, that's a command rather than...
Yeah, it's called show state. Okay, that's how I get to it? The creature.show state? Really? Huh, there it is, message. Okay, so I thought I had it. No worries. All right, so let's do this. And we're going to put that inside of... Come on, there we go. And I'm going to throw in feet because I think the answer is in feet, but we'll have to double check it.
Yeah.
Fill color. We could do creature dot. Do we have a dye color? Dye back color. And then creature dot. Dye font color.
So,
for the outline.
looking at the screen, we're no more than about 8 feet between any of the players.
Each tile is, well, I'm not sure. I gotta look at these over here. Yeah, it looks like each tile is 5 feet by 5 feet.
Okay.
So it looks like the distance. So we should see that the active player is Merkin. So we should see Asandra should be closer, and she's over here to my right. So we should see her text there. Let's just go in and see if we can. As we go through these. Okay, so
There we go.
something from up there, that was probably Janice. Or well, maybe not, because that would not be the creature though. Let's see who the creature is.
That was 31.
Oh, Noctan. So I've actually got, oh, it's, how many creatures? Oh no. I need one more check. If creature... And creature dot, what is... Not selected, is on screen?
I mean, if map position ultimately has a value, right?
Yeah, I can do that too. but it's like we need to know if they're on screen or not. So interesting game.
Do you mean on screen or on the map? Because I can imagine you having a camera angle that shows that misses a player or a character, but you might still want to know about them.
I mean on screen, meaning so we see one of them up here at the top, is what I'm talking about.
Oh, I see. On the 2D screen, the overlay.
Yeah, on the overlays, because we have the ability to do that whether they're active or not. Those would be coming from a different location. I did not realize that all creatures is literally, essentially all known creatures. All the known creatures that we know about it. Now, we do have an all in-game creatures in here, somewhere in this space. What's going on with you? Yeah, there you go. So we've got all in-game creatures, creatures. I could do this. And then I also have all players here. No. Don't we have all in-game creatures? Clear all in-game creatures. Yeah, I really want to get all in-game creatures. That's what I want. Get all playing creatures. That's what I want. And what's interesting is I thought there would be a property to indicate that they were playing now, but I'm not seeing it in there. So let's declare this and write that one right there. Okay, I think I can come in here and do result.add range.
Yep.
And pass in this.
Yeah.
No.
That's surprising.
It's an in-game creature. Wait.
That's an actual different type.
Yeah. And there's a way to format it, but I forget how to format it. To switch it over. Like, I know I can do it with the for each loop right here. Yeah, look at the for each loop is not giving that to me. An in-game creature is there. Like that. And then what I want to do here is I want to come in here and I would just sort of say add. But I'm going to add, I can't get this guy. I got to add this guy's property here, creature. Right.
I think it's a select command is the one you're thinking of.
All right, let's see if we can do that.
The other tactic.
So it goes like, so we're going to go result.add. Whoops.
There's add range.
Sorry.
And then you've got your source collection .select. And I think you can,
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Right? We agree. That's it?
Yeah. It's effectively reshaping each item in the collection.
Yeah. Then I want to do another add range in here as well. And this is going to come from, I think, game. .all players. No. Well, I changed all creatures. What's blowing my mind is that all creatures has got everybody in there. It's got all the in-game creatures plus all of the other players. There's some. I guess the problem is I just don't know what to use right now. I need to. It's somewhere. I believe
want
there's
something
here.
less than the totality of everything.
I know, and and I feel like I've got something already, so I kind of want to find that. Is what I want to do.
I thought I saw an all players come up, but it wasn't in game.
Yeah, I want it to active player is here. Where's this being set? I'm going to look for code. Game.getPlayer from ID. Wait, I think I know where it is. That's it. Get active. All players.get active. Okay, so now get all playing creatures is going to do that. Let's go back up here and where do we need it? They're right there. So we're going to go here and run it one more time. And now we should have, what? We should have fewer than 39. What's happening?
All in-game creatures must be having more than we expect.
Yeah, what happens if I do this? What do you do for me? Nothing? Alright. What are we at now with results? It's got 34. Okay. All in-game creatures, and I guess... Let's try throwing a where on here. Is selected. Is there an on-screen? Is there an active? Yeah, I'm not seeing. Oh,
See,
wait.
This is...
No.
We've definitely done this before.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm a little bit like, wait, what? It's just, I just need to find the property.
Apart from anything else, you know, there are various on-screen things we do which would never make sense unless the player or the creature was on screen. So, like the conditions, we put conditions next to anyone who has a condition, but we only do it for people who are on screen, right?
Yeah. Here's on screen. It's part of it. It's part of it. Why am I not seeing it? I thought I typed that in. Oh, because this is... Hold on.
This is the source creature, not the... No, the in-game
Yeah,
creature.
That's the creature, but I need to use it on the here. I needed this in this direction. That's why I couldn't see it.
Of course, because by the time we're on the other side, we've already converted to the other type of creature.
Right. We're in a list of creatures. Okay, that was a good thing to see. Okay, so let's try one more time. Up here. Actually, up one more. Okay, there we go. So now, hit this, and this should be 0. Good. Then get active should come in and get 5. Cool.
That's more like it.
That's definitely more like it. All right. Now back down over here. Set a breakpoint here. Go in and run. First one. Now we should see. There we go.
That's a better position
3
too.
feet. Fred is
3 feet.
3 feet from me. That looks wrong. I think it's 3 times the multiplier of 5. That's basically what I was looking at. I think what I need to do, distance to times 5. Because each tile, that's telling me how many tiles I am away, but each tile is 5 feet long.
Gotcha.
Oops, sorry, I'm sorry, 5, not 3. Like that. All right, so let's do the next one and see if that one looks right. This creature is Little Cutie. Little Cutie looks to be about 5 feet. So let's run that. 7. Yeah, that looks about 7. I'll revise my estimate on it. All right, cool. Next one is Lady McLovenuts. She is pretty close. That's about 5 feet there, I think. 7 feet as well.
It was a lower figure. I guess it depends on where the exact position is, because like, are you on a tile, and are we measuring between the tiles that you are on and the furthest reaches of those tiles, perhaps?
Yeah, no, I get that.
So if you're barely into one, then maybe it counts.
Let me do this. Let me clear my breakpoints. I'm going to just run the rest of this out here, and so we'll see everybody's piece right
5.5.
Actually, I do want to change it so it's easier to read, because all of those numbers are tough to read. Let's do one more time. Let's get the breakpoint in here. Get character positions in, and I want to change show state this right here. Isn't that how I do it? So D for decimal. What's wrong here? Is it afterwards? How do I format a number inside of the interpolated string?
Inside that, I believe it's inside of. Well, it's interesting. It should be inside the braces, right?
Yeah. Do I need to? Maybe it's this. I need to put this in parens and then do it. I thought it was a colon.
I thought it was a colon too.
It's taken the D. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I think that's going to be decimal right there is what I thought. Oh no, format specifier is invalid. So we got the syntax right. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have said that. Let's not focus on it. It's a family show. We're talking about it. Just the letter D worked. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so what is it? I want to say C2 now, or C3 or something like that. I don't know. C is currency maybe? Let's try running that.
I mean, you're just looking for, what, 2 decimal places?
There we go. C was currency. We know that. I got my decimal places. My feet are in dollar signs. Yeah, I'm looking for 2 decimal places.
I've got something here that says F3 is 3 decimal digits, and maybe F2.
Let's try it. Let's try it. We're going to do that. Set a breakpoint there. Hit the button again. Go. That's what we're talking about. Sweet.
That looks all right.
Thanks, buddy. All right. So now we can see everybody. Now let's do this. Let's start moving people around. So we're going to come in here. We're going to take, let me switch to GM mode, actually. And let's take this guy. Not moving. Click and drag him is not moving.
The responsiveness is not great. I'm seeing quite a slow flicker on the flames.
Oh yeah, you're right. I do want to bet it's this guy right here. I can't even alt-tab over to him. Let's close him down. Let's see if that helps us. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it was that guy.
Wow.
That guy was like, you know, let me, and it's all those events we're listening to. That's what I think it is. There may be another problem, but let's come in here. Let's pop this right there, so it's right at the intersection. Okay, we'll put, we'll do this like that. So we should see about 5 feet here. This is for lady, little cutie.
Isn't it gonna work it out? I mean, I presume the very center of a character is considered to be their location. And you're putting it borderline on the junction of 4 different tiles in each case.
Yeah, but
do you even know which tile they're on?
Doesn't matter, because because my position, if this position isn't a whole number, right? In other words, if I'm going to be here, it might be 0, 0. If I'm here, it might be 0.5, right? 0.75, 0.91. See, so it won't matter.
So we're going to say the length of a side of a tile is effectively 5 feet. So we expect there to be 5 feet between each pair of characters, and therefore increments of roughly 5 feet.
There you go, look at that.
5, 5, 10, 15. That sounds pretty good. 5, 10,
15. There you go. Right? And that's just basically everybody. I've lined everybody up there. So that's good. All right, I'm going to say that's done. That's nice. Cool. And we do have a button now, whoever player's turn it is, to get those positions for everybody. Right? How far away they are, and just float those up. That's nice, right? How far away is everybody from the active player? So that means if I say next turn and go to, like, say Fred, so Fred's now at the side, at the end. Little cutie's right next to Fred. Let me hide the scroll here. Got good character positions on that. So Fred's there. Little cutie should be 5. Lady should be 10. She's right here. I should be 15, and Asandra should be 20. So let's do that. Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay.
Very good.
Now we just got to get this working for Janice, right here. That guy. Right?
Oh yeah.
How far is this guy away? Yeah, it's really sweet, right? Because now if, like, you know, somebody's really far away, like here, at this point I think she's more than 30 feet away. Is that right? 10, 20, 30? No, I think she's still in. Let's make her a little bit further away. Right there. 10, 23. She's more than 30 feet away, I think.
Yeah.
So now if it's, we have to go back to Merkin's turn, right there, and now we hit the button, you should see, 32 feet, out of range. It's really sweet for D&D, right? To have this all working now. Okay, so now we got to get it so it works for this guy, Janice, right here. Somewhere, looks not there, hold on. Somewhere on this machine, I've got that notepad still up there with Janice's ID on it. We copy that to the clipboard. We're going to go bring up our in-game creatures. Do I have Janice still in here, or did we delete him? Looks like we deleted him, so I'll make him 36. Let's say Janice, right down there. Let me zoom this in a little bit if I can. This zoom is not working here. I got to get outside and zoom it, I think, like that. Okay. So there's Janice right there. Not in any particular group. He's a barbarian, I think. Goliath barbarian. Is he an enemy? Sure, why not? No override on the hit points. We'll just take this, copy it, paste it down here. Yeah, no override on that. No, nothing there. No image override. No image crop override. Cool. So there's that. Let's reload. Oh, sorry. We need to do
create a GUID column.
Yeah, that's what we have to do. So, this is going to be TaleSpire ID.
Yep.
I'm going to come down here for Janice.
Nope.
And paste that in. All right. Next, we need to, I think we need to close down the app. I think I'm going to go full screen for a little bit here. You can see the code. I'm going to close down this app right here. We should probably exit battle, exit combat right now, and maybe even turn off the music, D&D music, and clear out all of the name tags except for Fred. Now I'll close that down. And we probably don't need the code so big here now. Let's go to we need to know where those in-game creatures are loaded. I'm pretty sure we want to go to all in-game creatures. Right down there. Grabs the in-game creature. And here's where we're going to make that be the TaleSpire ID. Right there. We're just adding that column attribute there. So that's going to read in this value.
Yeah. This is our more modern way of loading data out of Google Sheets. So much simpler to set up.
Yeah. It is. I think what I want to do, let's see, where do we create a creature? We set it up here. Where do we assign that? Probably got a lot of these. Let's see if we can find assignments to it. That's the only assignment to it? Does that, wait. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, because it's in the first reference. In the getter, we basically come in and assign it there. So the first time we reference it, we try to create it. So based on the kind of monster we have, we override those pieces. Okay, what I'm going to do is this. So the monster is a creature. I'm going to come into monster and I'm going to say monster.TaleSpire ID is equal to TaleSpire ID. Like that.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now that should work. That's, I think, is that the only change? I think that's the only change we need to make. Let's try running it.
Feels correct, because Janus should now be A, in the list of monsters and creatures, and therefore in the list of all creatures, and therefore qualifying to just be found by the same piece of code that we had before.
Yeah. Really interesting, that performance issue.
Yeah.
Over in TaleSpire. I'm like, because I'm listening to every single event, and I'm wondering, like, it seems to kind of get slower over time. Not so
we're leaking something, aren't we?
Well, I don't necessarily think we're leaking. I think what we might be doing is doing more. Like, imagine an event handler. Now, I'm not saying we're doing this, but imagine an event handler. I don't think it's memory. But I think what we're doing is we're doing more each time. Like, imagine one of two situations. One is an event handler that when it's called, it hooks another event handler as an example.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Something like that, right? Or alternatively, imagine something that's trying to get something done, and if something kind of slows it down, it builds up like its queue in kind of not great ways. So imagine a bug inside of TaleSpire itself. Okay, so let's get. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, it's possible.
All right, let's get both views up here. We want to get Janus on screen. So Janus is, I think, 36. Sweet. So there's Janus, the Goliath Barbarian. Mm-hmm. We are all here. Let's enter battle. Enter combat. Lady's the first player to go. Let's say Nick's turn. And now I want to see, I'm hoping to see text come from Janus showing his distance when I click the button. So I'm going to click the button now. 204 feet. Is he 204 feet though? That seems wrong.
That's a distance.
That's not right at all. Janus is here.
What's the distance from the active player?
Yeah, active player
who is that?
Is Lady, who's right here.
Okay, so now that should be, 20 feet at most?
This should be 5 now? Plus, this should be about 7.5 feet. Let's try again. Why are you so
It didn't
much?
Change.
Yeah. I wonder if his... here, let's go over here and see what's going on here when we get to Janus. Hit the button again. Janus is right there. Sweet. What's your map position, Janus? Just as I suspected.
Not on map, according to that.
Yeah. Let's look at... Here's where we put it right here. Oh.
We're only getting characters from IDs of players.
You're correct, sir.
That's a good reason for it not working. We will accept this reason and then fix it.
Yeah. Somewhere in here, I think I added a get creature from ID. This is a different ID, though.
Mm-hmm.
And it does something like this. I want to change this to a get creature from TaleSpire ID. That's what I want to do, and I want to create just a simple method here, so I don't have to, jump through hoops. Get creature from TaleSpire ID. Like that. Let's rename this. And
that's going to need to be a string though as well.
Oh, thanks. All right, so that TaleSpire ID is coming in there like that. Get creature from TaleSpire ID. Creature ID. Character position.id is what I want. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm looking at the set map position. I really hope I declared this in the right class. I didn't. Killing everything. Moving it to the right class. I'm sorry. I was bad, Roy. You're like,
what are you
can't
gonna
think
do?
of anything. You're British. All you do as a British person is come up with rationalizations for why things are not as bad as we thought they are. They should be. And I just said,
wasn't where you wanted.
I just said, sorry, man, I messed up. And you're like, yeah. All right, so now it's going to be something like this. So we're going to get the creature. We still have to finish that method and write that up. It's going to go like that. We're not going to have any of this down here. Okay? That is making me happier, happier, happier. Now we just got to make this thing work here.
Yeah, it's all based on integer-based logic now. There's index checking and all sorts in there.
Right. So basically what I want to do is do, I think, all in-game creatures dot get by TaleSpire ID. Like that. And we're going to say that's going to be creature. And if not null, then we're going to return that. Okay, like that. Let's go add this. Let's make that a little bit bigger so we can see it. Let's drop that down so we move some more to the left. Get by TaleSpire ID. So we're going to do something similar to, I'm sure, one of some of the pieces we've already got inside of here. What is it? What's my field? I don't know if it's here. Where are we holding stuff in here? Nope, it is in-game creatures. Dot first or default. And we want to say interesting. I thought I had, oh wait, TaleSpire ID equals TaleSpire ID. Like that. We're going to return that.
That's good.
Okay.
Yep.
Dot creature. Like that. Okay. So that's our get by TaleSpire ID. Send back out to where we were. Okay. Otherwise, then we're going to go down and we're going to say, hey, return. Looks like I got some extra stuff in here. We're going to say return all players dot get from TaleSpire ID.
That's good.
That's in TaleSpire ID.
We'll ripple down. If we can't find it in one, we'll find it in the next.
Yeah. Let's try running now. See if we're going to get that other can't copy error. I don't think we will. I really feel like there's shadow copying over in TaleSpire, the DLLs that are loaded up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You applied the latest update from them as well?
No, I don't think
I think
so.
it was released yesterday.
I was nervous because I was like, oh, I got to take all their DLLs and go bring them over again, copy them over. You know, it's just like, I'm just like, you know, I'll do it, but I'm like, I'll cringe every time I do it.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we going to do? TaleSpire's there. Let's go into battle. I got a timer that checks to see if it's in the morning while we're doing the show or whatever during our show hours. And if it is, it says, oh, cram, instead of like other, you know, bad words. Okay, so Fred's first. Next turn, there's Fred, Janice, and Fred. Janice is going to put Janice right over here next to Fred. And we're going to click the button.
It's going to not be 204 feet.
I think you're right. Oh, but guess what? Janice is not on screen. Let's add him.
Fair.
Why isn't he coming up? Am I at a breakpoint? That's why. I'm at a breakpoint. Okay, sorry. Let's run again.
There's
Okay.
the other characters detailing their distance. Good.
Yeah. All right, Janice is up now. Now will it work?
10 feet. That seems a lot more plausible.
From Fred. Yeah, that looks about 10 feet. 20, 30. Put them right out over here. And then let's say, go. Yeah,
33 feet. That's a success. That's a win.
It's good. All right. Should we go into trying to hack in? I think I want to do that next. I want to spend some time trying to figure out the magic effects. That's what I want to do. The custom spell effects.
Well, whilst you do that, I'm afraid my time is up. It has to go, man.
Okay, buddy.
It is a sad, sad thing, but I will be back on Tuesday.
Well, thanks as always, Rory. You're the best
It's
co-host
absolutely my pleasure.
there's ever been in the history of the world.
You don't get out much, do you?
No? Is that important to get out?
Maybe in the witnessing of good co-host theory.
He's awesome, kids. All right. Well, Rory, we'll see you later, buddy.
Will do.
Thanks for hanging out.
Have a good one.
All right,
Bye-bye.
buddy. Bye. All right, custom spell effects. I'm going to restart TaleSpire over on the second machine. Surly Dove says, not as important as you think to get out. Good. Can I switch both? Am I at a breakpoint? I'm not. Why can't I switch both? These buttons are the Stream Deck buttons are not working to switch. Maybe for vitamin B. Well, I think I know why, because I need to switch back over here. There we go. Okay. And a walk in the sunshine for mental health research. Sure, those would all be great. My daughter was out in the sun so long, she got sun poisoning, apparently. That's what was going on. And started getting these blisters on her hands and in other parts of her body. And we were reading about it yesterday for the first time. We were like, what's going on with that? Never seen it. Anyway, because she didn't have some sunblock on, she got burnt. I'm not allowed to leave my house or garden until next Tuesday. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to ask or not. That sounds an interesting situation. Okay, so custom spell effects. Let's look at that. I'm going to restart TaleSpire over here on the left, on the machine on the left here. Because we need to get our app up. And actually, while I'm doing that, let's kind of switch full screen over here. Let's go get, I think what we want to do is we want to go look at our TaleSpire Explorer. This guy right here. This guy needs a checkbox on whether we're listening to events or not, because I strongly suspect that our performance issue is related to what we're doing when we're listening to the events. That's what I think is happening. I did my 2-day test after returning to... Oh, shoot. Surly Dev tested positive for COVID. Wow. 2-day test. So did you do a test before you flew back? You think it's a false positive? Wow, that's a bold statement. You did a rapid antigen lateral flow test yesterday, and it was negative. Oh, interesting. We've got these really cool home testing kits here in the States. I don't remember what it's called. EMED. That's what I think it's called. EMED COVID testing. Yeah. These are cool. You test with somebody online who's essentially watching you while you're doing the test. Really great stuff. Needed a PCR within 72 hours before flying, and needed to show the result before flying. In quarantine for 10 days, and then So do you think you got it in the airport? I guess is my question. When we were flying, I flew to the States to get my COVID shot, and I felt like the most dangerous part was in the airport coming back to Costa Rica, because there's no requirement going into Costa Rica to take a COVID test, and while they may say, hey, stand 10 feet behind the person in line in front of you, they snake the line back and forth so that the person on either side of the barrier, which COVID doesn't recognize, the little straps between the poles, is like within like 3 feet of you or less. Yeah. So day 8, you're going to do a test tube. Well, I hope it's positive. If it's negative, I mean, do you have any symptoms at all, Surly? You probably don't. All right, I want to go in here and I want to add a checkbox to whether we're listening to events or not. No symptoms at all. Good. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to close down our app. I love this planet right here behind me. I'm a huge fan of seeing those planets. I think they look cool whenever they show up. So we close this down. We're going to grab the toolbox, get a checkbox. It says hook events. And when that thing is checked, we're going to hook them. And when it's unchecked, we're going to unhook them. And I bet that is going to solve our problem. You don't need to do the day 8 test if you test positive on day 2. Oh, I gotcha. Because they're basically like quarantine. Got it. Okay, so that's why you can't leave home. All right, so we want to go in toolbox and we want to look for checkbox. That's it right there. Let's get rid of that. Put this here. And bring up properties. Like that. Listen to events. CHK, listen to events. Like that. And then we want checked changed. What's the difference between checked change and checked state? Checked state and checked. Remember the check property is changed. Isn't that the one? Oh, I see. And this is for if we've got 3 states. Is that right? Intermediate. Gotcha. I just want check changed. That's what I want. Okay, so we're going to check change. Then we're going to say, hey, we're going to say if CHK, listen to events, dot checked. Then we're going to say hook events, like that. Otherwise, we're going to say unhook events. And I think that's all I need. Like, I trust that this is going to always toggle. And we're going to turn it off by default. So we'll only opt into it. So now, by doing that run, it's going to copy over to the second machine. Part of its build action is to make a copy, put it over into the second machine. If we go inside of here, plugins, we should see really fresh timestamps. Yeah. Although it says 10:58, it's 11:58 on my machine right now. Is that machine time different? Would that make a difference? Nope, it's the same time. I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. To the point that I'm going to close down and do a very explicit build in here for this guy, rebuild on that guy. There we go. Now there's the fresh. Interesting. Interesting that when I hit run, it's like the build action didn't take place. Let's start up TaleSpire on the second machine. Show that to you in a second. All right, there comes TaleSpire coming up. We'll close that scroll. You start. You go. Ooh, it's by default. It's by default on. I made one mistake. So the problem is that if I click this, it's going to hook them one more time. But now it might unhook them all. Hopefully it will. Let's move this guy around. Nope. Yeah, it's not going to work. All right, we got to restart it. That's too bad. Okay, close that down. Yeah, exit to desktop. We're probably going to get some errors because unless I properly unhook that. Okay, let's go back again. The hook events call, we want to go find that over here. View code, you close down. Where's my call to hook events? Right there. That's the one I needed to remove. Okay, so do a rebuild of that. Rebuild that guy. Watch for the change out here. There it is right there. And run. Run. Starting that up again. Starting TaleSpire over on the left. Hold on, just typing to a colleague. Okay. Back over to TaleSpire. Loading that. Hide the scroll. Good, better. No events. Listening at all. So now if we say listen to events and then we click and drag this guy, now we should see events. And if we turn this off and clear it and now we drag it, should be nothing. Much better. I think that's important. Okay, one of the things we can do in here is we can call list effects. List effects bring us up circle dust and magic missile. I can copy magic missile, put it in here in the effect, paste it in, and choose show relation effect. I don't know if we'll be able to see it here. Oh, there it is right there. Sweet. Like that. So it's the code to do show relation effect does it from two known locations. So in order to make this look like impressive, we'd have to like do something like this, move them into about the right spots right there. And then there you go. So you can do something like that to simulate an attack. The problem is there are only two effects that ship with TaleSpire. Circle dust, which is really not that exciting. Here, if I put it in here, paste it in, play effect. Where is it? You can barely see it. It's coming in right in here. Right around in this space right here. Maybe I'll, yeah, let's go and we'll just play it one more time. Just barely see it there. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on. What I want to do is be able to create really cool, much cooler effects is what I want to do. Let's kind of look a little bit at the code, where the code is. I think what I'm going to do is we'll do a preview of kind of what we're going to work on next when we do it. I guess this will be for next Tuesday maybe, and we'll pick up there. We'll look at it a little bit. Let's see. Let's look at this TaleSpire Explorer. So when I create an effect, I think I put that over in modding utils, I believe. Nope, not there. Oh yeah, I guess it is here. Here we go. So when we click button effects to create it, This is where we list all the known effects. So we go out to the effect manager, we find its private field. And so let's do this too. Let's show you that, the effects. Is it effects or is it effects manager? Effect manager, yeah. So effect manager's got this private field called effects right here. Can I go full screen there so you can see that a little better? There it is right there. Fast coaster. I love it. I love it, Shirley. So we get this private field. We find all the list of these pieces that are the effects that are inside of it. And so that's the effect manager. One of the things I think we can do, there's a couple strategies in here. One is to add our own effects to effect manager, create our own custom effects, and add them. The other way is to find an existing effect and modify it. For example, that magic missile is, I think, called VSF missile. Let's just search for missile. Visual effects missile. That's this guy. And so the other option is to go in and say, well, look, the drizzle, this particle system, is probably this piece that is that's spilling out that color on the back. And so let's find it. And I actually tried writing code to find the drizzle and make a change to it, but it did not work. And I was using this property called min-max gradient. And I passed in just a blue, like I thought that was going to work. Let's start up Unity. I should give you some of the command names and you could add Stream Deck buttons so you can have drone formations going when I'm not here. Okay, cool. Resource test. I'm going to open up resource test in Unity. And I'm going to play with the particle system for a little bit because I'm curious to know how I can change the color. I think there are a couple ways to do it, and I think whatever way they're setting the color in their gradient is taking priority over the code that I'm trying to change right here, which is when I set the start color equal to that. I don't think it matters anymore. The problem is I don't know how to open up their resources and look at them and examine the properties. I don't know enough about Unity yet to know how to get to that resource. And also in the way that we are currently running, we might want to change the way we're running. In the way we're currently running, I can't get a breakpoint on this. I am not skilled enough to do that because it's like a remote debugging session, maybe. I'm not sure. I just don't know how to do that, and I don't have the time to research that right now. So I think what I want to do is run locally and try to, so I can at least break into it and start examining the pieces of it. That's kind of where I'm leaning to go. I've got a particle system. I thought there it is right there. So how can we change the color? Well, if I change the start color, that certainly solves that, right? We can see that working right here. But when I change that start color, it is not having an impact. So how can we change it to have a different color? And could this be it? Hold on. It's just showing up on another screen. Here's what comes up here. So let's say I've got that, and we're going to go from there. Because maybe it's color over lifetime that's been set. So we'll go from red to blue. Like that. Now, if we change that, what I'm hoping is that this will have no impact. And it looks like it has no impact. That's essentially what the problem is. So I think color over lifetime is the thing I've got to hook into. Now I got to figure out how to get to that programmatically. So we can figure that out. Change color over lifetime. Unity C# in code. It's called color over lifetime. Let's try that. Let's come in here. Yeah, that's not what we care about anymore. We want something like this. Oh, because we're running. Let's close down so we can make some changes here. And particle system is called Drizzle, I think, right? Did I call it Drizzle? There it is right there. Yeah, it's called Drizzle. So we're going to come in here. What's interesting is that I've seen things like this instead of this. Right there. And I've seen in some cases where it's like that won't work. Like I had to do something very similar, right? Yeah, here, look at this. Cannot modify the return value because it's not a variable, right? So I have to create this strange thing is happening in Unity that I don't understand. It's almost like it's to designed to prevent mutation. I don't know. I don't quite understand it. At any rate, color over lifetime, gradient, creating that, set keys. This is going to be Unity Engine. Color.blue. And what is this? That's the time. There's another way we can trick it too, which is what? Color by speed. I don't know if they've done that. They've probably done color over lifetime is what they've done. And so we'll go from blue to red. And the new gradient alpha key. The alpha is 0 there. So it's going to go from 1 to fade out. Okay, good. I love it. And then the color gradient gets there. And is that all we need to do? Is that all we need to do? Let's go shut down TaleSpire in the second machine. So what it's going to try and do is it's going to, when we fire off this effect, we're going to try and go get it, hijack it, change its settings, and then play it. That's what we're going to try and do. So let's go ahead and build. All right, that worked. Let's look for the date time stamp. That's perfect. Let's run. Yeah, so we can't step through the code if I got it on a second machine. At least right now we can't do that. So our process is to be thoughtful. Our workaround is to be thoughtful. All right, starting up TaleSpire on the second machine. Nope. Still showing pink. No color change. It's gorgeous, but yeah, the color change is not working. Color over lifetime module. And the other thing is we're getting no exceptions here, which means this is all, it's finding a color over lifetime module. So I'm not sure what's going on. How you doing? You look like you're feeling better. What do you need? I think it fell right by my chair. Thank you very much. All right, I think I'm going to end the show right there. Is what I think I'm going to do. I think we've done some cool stuff. I haven't quite figured this out. This is kind of a preview more of where we're going to go in terms of this. I'm not sure if I'm going to be adding my own effects and trying that, or if we're going to be if I'm going to be doing another trick, another technique to try to modify existing ones. We'll figure out the secret to that. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us up to this point. Let me get a raid going for you. See who we're going to send you out to. Fine, I'll send you to Bald Bearded Builder. Go say hi to him. Take care, everybody.